Hi, my name is Gibson, and I'm the creator of the Personal Development School. This is your daily breakthrough video. And in this video, I want to talk to you a little bit about why fearful avoidant attachment styles may try to make their partner feel jealous after a breakup. Is this something that happens all the time? Absolutely not. Fearful avoidants can have a number of different responses post-breakup. Sometimes they can just go really cold and shut down completely. Sometimes they have a history of kind of like holding on to things for a long period of time without speaking up about them. And so they can even start like grieving the relationship before the breakup happens. And then when the breakup happens, it's actually not that tough of a grief process. That's still just a small portion of FAs, but still. And in other cases, fearful avoidants will really miss their ex and feel sad about it and ruminate about it and process it in a healthier way, and by talking to friends or family or maybe starting out therapy or counseling. So there's a variety of different responses, but there is a portion of fearful avoidants who will try to resort to making their ex jealous after a breakup. And I want to really talk about what's going on here, so that if you are an FA watching this, you can have some insight into your own patterns and what that may mean for you as something really important and valuable to work on that will literally be life-changing. Or if you are the partner of an ex, you can sort of see where this person is at. So a portion of fearful avoidance will do this. And what this really represents at a deep level is you, if you are the FA doing this, having enough of a history of trauma where you've essentially been made to feel like nobody will meet your needs anyways, or if you do express your needs, they won't get met, so why bother? And this isn't like a conscious thought process. This will be a subconscious program, aka an adaptation to a traumatic event in the past that was repetitive enough that it just became your new way of being. So if you believe at some deep subconscious level, well, I can't be vulnerable to other people and say what I need or say what's going on for me, then you're always trying to connect in ways that meet your needs without having to cross that vulnerability barrier. And so what this looks like is whenever you have needs, you have to find all these roundabout ways of getting them met. And oftentimes this can lead to like manipulative strategies, even though the intention isn't to like hurt or to harm. The intention is just from this place of like desperation to get a need met and from maybe a place of insecurity or fear. But in essence, there can still be harmful output, right? Or at least an output that is damaging long-term to a relationship. And so sometimes what I'll see here is fearful avoidance, go through a breakup, realize, oh my gosh, I miss this person. I miss my ex. I'm still interested in them, or I still have feelings for them. And then do things to try to spark that ex into action by using like indirect behaviors to get their attention, aka making them jealous, talking about other people that you might be interested in to see their reaction, see where they're at, these different sort of like strategies that may be used to try to gain closeness without having to be vulnerable at all. It's like, oh, I can try to go around the topic of vulnerability or open dialogue or conversation. I can see how you react, judge your reaction, through my spidey senses and hypervigilant awareness, and then gauge how you're feeling about me in the relationship and see if there's something still there without having to really put myself out there and deal with the harm of being rejected. Now, if you're on the receiving end of this, it's really important to recognize that, like, unfortunately, as much as you might love that person, they still have a lot of unhealthy patterns. And it's not like their fault. It's the result of trauma and a history of trauma. But we can have compassion for somebody while still having a boundary because we realize it's not a healthy relationship to engage in at this time. And what you should really be looking for is you should be looking for somebody to do something different than what led to the breakup in the first place. So if there was a lack of vulnerability in the relationship, like both parties weren't communicating needs or boundaries or opening up about feelings or practicing vulnerable communication to solve problems, like if there was an absence of this, then obviously that causes a breakdown to relationships. So if you see somebody still going about those same patterns, it could be a really strong sign that that person's not ready to change something, aka move the needle for that relationship to have hope at this time. And if you are the fearful avoidant who's actively doing this or is like, oh my gosh, I can relate to this, don't be hard on yourself. Like, this is the result of you having gone through enough at some point that you were made to feel and believe that me being vulnerable does not work, and it's not a way I can get my needs met. And there's a decent amount of attachment traumas that's been imprinted there. However, vulnerability will be life-changing. Like, getting into a position in a place where you're able to open yourself up, say your truth, state your needs, share your insecurities with a partner. It's the only thing that's really going to make relationships fulfilling, and out of that power struggle mode where it's like you're afraid to show your cards or to trust or to let your guard down. And that's not a fun way to do a relationship. That's like a walking on eggshells, stressful, tiring, exhausting way to do a relationship. And so reconditioning fears you have about what it means to be vulnerable, seeing how it's courageous instead of weak, seeing how you are still able to trust people in that vulnerable space. And you'll actually see you can trust people more when you are vulnerable, because they actually get you and they know the inner you. And so they can take that inner you into proper consideration. Whereas when you try to connect with a guard up, it's really hard to actually be seen and known, and for people to be reliable because they don't really know your truth, right? So there's all these things that will come out of that. Hey everyone, I just wanted to come in here quick and let you know that we are doing our final integrated attachment theory training for the rest of this year, and we won't be hosting one until October of next year at the earliest. So we will be basically covering, if you're curious, everything you need to know to become a certified relationship coach. It will include everything about each of the major attachment styles from an integrated attachment theory point of view, which essentially includes the subconscious reprogramming tools that you need to know in order to help somebody actually recondition their attachment style to become secure. So you'll learn about boundaries, communication, reconditioning core wounds, individual needs, how to break through different painful patterns, bad habits, all of these different things, and how to do this collectively so that somebody can see their relationship thrive long-term. Week 8 of this program as well will also cover everything you need to know to actually start up, run, and successfully create systems in your business and funnels so that you can make your business work for you instead of feeling like you are always having to try to chase down clients or things of that nature. And there will be 40 hours of training, give or take, including our post webinars after that we do as follow-up, tons of community support, time for critiqued examples, live examples, and all that training is live with me over the course of 8 weeks. So I would love to see you there. We do have payment plans, and we do have early bird pricing just for the next couple of weeks. And early bird pricing is almost 50% off. So check it out using the link below if you want to learn more. And I would love to see you during that 8 weeks with me. A powerful topic also to do a deep dive into around that is the idea of reconditioning the limiting beliefs you have so that when somebody does make a mistake in a relationship, because people are imperfect and people will make mistakes sometimes, you're not quick to tell a story about it being something to do with you. So it's easier, for example, to be vulnerable when I can see Bob's behavior of forgetting to call me back as like, oh, Bob is a distracted person. Bob calls me back 99% of the time, but he didn't yesterday because he's going through a hard time right now. It's not about me. Rather than me being quick to go, oh my gosh, Bob didn't call me back, so I can't trust him. He doesn't love me. He wants to leave the relationship. And I start storytelling about these wounds that are actually picked up from past relationships that I'm carrying at a subconscious level and recycling and projecting back out onto my external world. So when I can recondition those wounds so my past isn't constantly with me in my present, I'm free to actually feel safer and more open to being vulnerable and sharing myself with other people, which is ultimately one of the most important things that will lead to a truly fulfilling and long-term relationship. So I hope this makes sense. Let me know if you have any other questions in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.